So let's go now. In the fifth slide, it is about the instrument and instrumentation. Okay. As I said, instrument is very important. Why? Because from the instrument, you will get the data. If you provide the wrong instrument or inaccurate instrument, it will lead to inaccurate data. When you have inaccurate data, means that it will not measure what it's supposed to be measured. Example, and this is actually Rancis Likert. Okay, it's not Likert, it's Likert. Because when we went to one conference, okay, we met the Likert wife. So the wife mentioned the name Likert, not Likert, okay? So Likert, okay? So this is Rancis Likert, okay? And I can say that in social sciences, the Likert scale is actually the most common format being used by, widely used by the researcher, okay? And what is the differences between the Likert scale and Likert type or Likert-like scale? So the Likert format, when you say that I am using the Likert scale, means that in the middle of the scale must be neutral or undecided. It must be neutral. Okay, this is actually the law of Likert scale. But if let's say you are using only like this for Likert scale, this one we call as the Likert type scale. Okay, Likert type scale format, either 4-point Likert scale, 6-point scale. But the differences here, you don't have any choices, option for the respondent to choose as undecided or neutral. But for Likert scale, they must have the neutral option. Okay, that one is the Likert scale. Okay, the rest I think maybe some of you are familiar with, or maybe some of you not familiar. And me personally also would like to say that not every type of scale that I will show you here you must use in your research. No. Okay, for example, now is the semantic differential scale. In semantic differential scale, you can see that the scale is only give the descriptions for the extreme one, the most extreme one. Number 1 as active, number 5 as passive. Number 1 as powerful, number 5 as powerless. Number 1 as favorable, number 5 is unfavorable. However, how you want to make sure that the respondent really can differentiate between 2, 3, and 4. That's why I said it's good if you can run the statistical analysis. But somehow this kind of scale, I can see that during the proposal defense or during the viva, okay, I can see that many examiners will reject it, right? Will reject it because they will say that your respondents might not can differentiate between 2 and 3. Compared to the Likert scale, every single scale here, you have the description. Strongly disagree, disagree, agree, strongly agree. But here, no. You will assume your respondents can give or understand by themselves the differences between 2, 3, and 4. And that is actually, if you cannot defend well, then your examiner will say, no, you have to change the scale. Okay? Okay, then the Gutman scale. So the Gutman scale is quite rarely being used in research. However, for those who are using the achievement test, sometimes you will use this. So for the Gutman scale, it is also called as the scaleogram. Okay, I will show you if we have time after this. So in this scale, actually, normally it will be done using the software. Okay, it will be done using the software. Even Excel also can help you. The researcher or the teacher, you will arrange the number of items according to the level of difficulty. Okay, so let's say to be easier, okay, I have 10 questions. Okay, item number 1 until item number 10. From the easiest questions to the most difficult questions, 1 to 10. So what I will do, the scaleogram or Gutman scale, it will treat that if let's say one student did not answer question number 5, let's say, okay, maybe forgot or maybe don't have time to answer the question number 5. If let's say the students can answer question number 6 and 7 correctly, okay, you should put answer number 5 as 1, as correct, although the student is not answering it. So you will put it as the probability the students will answer it correctly. because the students can answer the more difficult item, which is item number 6 and 7 correctly. That's why if you see here, okay, in this form of scale, each item is related in an incremental way to the prior item. Okay, hence a person who answers a question positively is assumed to also be in agreement with the item before, but not necessarily with the item that follows. Okay, for example, if let's say the students cannot not answer item number 5, but item number 6 and 7, the students answer it wrongly. So the probability to answer the item number 5 is actually less than 1. Maybe 0.2, maybe 0.3. Okay, if you are using the rush measurement model, instead, they are using scaleogram and they will predict, okay, for those students who are not answering the certain item, then the software will automatically give the value according to the probability calculation, which is we call as joint maximum likelihood estimation. Okay, okay. So this is another, okay, another kind of scale, which is visual analog scale. So in visual analog scale, we can see that you only give one line like this. And then the researcher, what they will do, they will get the ruler, okay? And then from the ruler, okay, you will ask where is actually the mark, the X mark from the respondent. Let's say here, you take the ruler and then you will take the value. Let's say 5.2. So you will take the score of 5.2. Okay. So in this case, it's quite controversial. Okay. Why actually, at the first place, why this happened? Okay, maybe I can tell a bit of the story. This has happened because at that time, many of the researchers, they use the Likert scale in the questionnaire. However, Likert, the owner of the scale himself, say that Likert scale is actually the ordinal scale. Okay, when it comes to ordinal scale, mathematically, actually, you cannot find any mean. Average, you cannot find. When you are using the ordinal scales, you only can use the descriptive analysis. You only can use the frequency, the percentage, the median, or the mode analysis. So when you cannot find the average, that means you cannot go to the parametric tests such as t-test, such as ANOVA, such as regressions. And when you cannot use the parametric test, means that you cannot generalize your findings to a population. That is why, because Likert say that the scale is not ordinal, so there is a intervention, okay, the innovation that try to make the scale as an interval scale. Interval means that you have the same equal difference between one scale to another scale. So one of the example of interval instrument is ruler. Ruler is a very objective measurement because from the ruler you can see the difference between each scale is same. 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, the difference is equal. So that is why they try to put it in this context. But however, it is not applicable to the social sciences to measure using the ruler. How you want to measure the intelligence using your ruler? Either you say that your intelligence is X line there, how accurate the X line that given by the respondent. So this is quite controversial. However, it is used especially in counseling and psychology field. Whereas maybe I can say that even if you go to the hospital or you are warded, you are hospitalized, okay, the nurse will ask you from level 1 to 10 how you describe your pain today. So you will say my pain today is 6, 7, you know, something like that. So you will put the X on the line. And then the researcher will take the ruler and take the measurement. So this is quite controversial, but I would say that I will not encourage you to use this if you cannot defend well about this scale. However, I introduce you this scale because it is exist in the research world. Okay. Okay. So another type of format or the in the instrument is closed-ended and also open-ended. This is very familiar. The close-ended questions normally used in quantitative research because you want to make sure that what you want from the responder you get. I mean that it's direct the data analysis. It's direct the finding towards what kind of data analysis that you want. Okay, for example, in this case, you want to know about the gender. Okay, the gender is only male or female. So it's very easy. And then you give the answer if are you a smoker, yes or no. Because you only want the result yes or no. Because it's easier for you to do the analysis. If let's say you do the open questions, okay, you will ask, are you smoker? You will get the various answer. For example, maybe they will say sometimes, depends, okay. So it's quite difficult for you to, to analyze the result of sometimes, depends on the mood, depends on the situation. So yeah, it will go more on the qualitative or subjective answer. So that is why in quantitative, normally there is pro and con. Okay, the pro part is you can get the accurate data, okay, and then you can analyze your data accurately. Yeah, I would say accurately because they will answer as what you want according to your research questions. Okay. Okay, this is we call close-ended. So this one is actually the open-ended. It's more on, I would not say it's qualitative. Okay. One misunderstanding happen is students think that interview or open-ended questions is the qualitative instrument only. It's not. Actually, in quantitative research also, you can use the open-ended questions and you can use the interview questions. The things that makes different is actually on how you analyze and how you ask in the interview section. Okay, normally, when you conduct the interview for the purpose of quantitative research, you will go more on the semi-structured or structured questionnaire. Sorry, structured interview. And when you analyze the data, you will go for quantifying, not interpreting, quantifying. How many of your respondents just now say they agree? So you will say from the interview, from the 8 respondents, 70% of them say they are agree with the topic. So it's how you want to do the reporting, analyze the data. But if, let's say, you are using interview or open-ended questions for the qualitative research, normally you will use the unstructured, okay, unstructured interview, okay. More you will use unstructured compared to the structured or semi-structured, okay. And the way how you do the to probe the questions, sometimes this is your probable questions, but when you get some answer from your respondent, you will have the different probe of additional questions. So this is on how you interpret what they said. But in quantitative, no, you will not ask more and more. But in qualitative, yes. The answer agree, why you agree? Why this condition? How about if you're not agree? Something like that. So the way how you analyze the data for qualitative is not only thematic analysis. Thematic analysis also can be used for the quantitative. It's more on narrative analysis. Besides you have the themes, you also have to interpret. And of course, for qualitative research, the respondents normally, the researchers normally, you are well versed with the theory and the topic that you discuss. So when the respondent give the answer, you can analyze, you can interpret the data in a very mature and professional way. So that is if you want to do the qualitative research. So it's very depth and it's very good. Okay. Yes, you can mix. You can mix the scale. But again, I said it will depend on the research design that you use. You can mix, but which item that you will use for the research question, which is fall under the quantitative research design, and which item that you will use, okay, under the research question, which is more on qualitative research design. So you can mix, no problem. You can have under one instrument, A part is for quantitative, B part for qualitative, A part is closed-ended, B part is open-ended, no problem. Okay, you can do that. So for the validity, this is actually the types of validity that we have. Okay, but, okay, by standard, what you have to report in your research or thesis is actually the content validity and construct validity. The rest is not compulsory. But for content and construct validity, it is compulsory. So what is the difference between content and construct validity? Content validity, just now, when you develop the item, you want to know either the item is relevant enough or not. So you will give to the expert in your field work, in the field of your study. Okay, so the experts will vet it qualitatively from their opinion. But construct validity, you only can analyze, or you can only get the construct validity after you administer the questionnaire. Means you must have the data first, and this will happen actually during your pilot. Very easy. Okay, so it's just want to see the consistency of the score provided by your respondent, because we need the homogeneous sample. So the homogeneous sample should provide you the consistent results because they are homogeneous in terms of their character. So if it is not reliable, it's not consistent, so it might be something wrong with your item or something wrong with your respondent. Okay, so you can choose. Okay, normally I know that you will use the alpha Chromebook. Okay, in fact, from the CFA also you can have the composite reliability score. And if you are using the rush measurement model or WinStep, you can use the person or item reliability. So reliability is actually not a big issue as long as you got the good validity result. Means if you have a good reliability but you have the poor validity, you still cannot proceed with your research. Okay, but if you got the good validity, normally your reliability will be okay. Okay, will be okay. So this is kind of reliability. We have test, retest, internal, interactor, and intra-reactor. But I would say that majority of us will go for the second one. Internal consistency. Sorry, you will go for the internal consistency reliability, which is the correlation matrix among the item. That's why you use alpha Chromebook. Okay, so I think that's all. Okay, Rosita, maybe you can help me to read the question.